I'm Dr. Anbarsi, working as Associate Professor of Physiology in Lakshman Narayana Institute of Medical Sciences. So today we'll deal about cell-mediated immunity or cellular immunity. So what is cell-mediated immunity or cellular immunity? So it is an immunity which is mediated by T cells. So cell-mediated immunity or cellular immunity is an immunity which is mediated by T cells. So when you take cell-mediated immunity, it is effective against intracellular organisms like viruses, parasites, fungi, chronic bacterial infections like tuberculosis, brucellosis, and also in tumor cells, that is cancer cells and transplant cells. So that means what do you understand from cell-mediated immunity? It is immunity which is mediated by T cells, and it is effective against viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, as well as tumor cells. So if the cell-mediated immunity is good, the tumor cells won't grow at all. And this cell-mediated immunity also plays a very important role in transplantation, ejection. So these are the things in this, from this slide you should learn. So what is cell-mediated immunity? It is immunity which is mediated by T cell. And this immunity is effective against intracellular organisms like viruses, parasites, bacteria, and fungi. And also it is effective against tumor cells and transplanted cells. Okay. If the cell-mediated immunity is good, the tumor cells won't multiply at all. And the organ transplantation you have seen, it is getting rejected, isn't it? Because of the cell-mediated immunity. So you have to suppress the cell-mediated immunity, whoever has got organ transplantation. These things you have to keep it in mind before going into detail about this cell-mediated immunity. So when you take, I told you already in the previous class, so what is the function of neutrophil and what is the function of monocytes? So neutrophil is phagocytic in action. It plays a very important role in phagocytosis. If that because it acts as a first line of defense, isn't it? If that fails, the second line of defense which comes into action will be your macrophages or monocytes. It acts as a second line of defense. If it also fails, then what does it do? That will be giving this antigen to the T cells. So you should understand before going into the detail about the cellular immunity that T cells will not be induced directly by the pathogens or microorganisms. So for the induction of T cells, the antigen or the microorganism has to be appropriately recognized, processed, and then presented to the T cell. So whatever it may be, whether it is a tumor cell or whether it is a microorganism or transplanted cell, that antigen, that substance should be appropriately recognized and it should be processed and then it should be presented to the T cell. So the cell which does this action, you call it as antigen presenting cell. So for the cellular immunity to act well, you should have the antigen presenting cell, which plays a vital role in this immunity or this cell mediated immunity. So what do you understand from what I'm telling? T cell cannot be induced directly. So for the induction of T cells, we need a special cell called antigen presenting cell. So this antigen presenting cell should recognize and process. Then when it presents to the T cell, only T cell will act. Okay. So that means what are the antigen presenting cells? Macrophages, dendritic cells, B cells. These are the antigen presenting cells. And where they are present? They are present in the skin, mucous membrane of the respiratory tract, gastrointestinal tract. And they are present in the genitourinary tract also. So what are APCs or antigen presenting cells? The antigen presenting cells or the cells which present the antigen to the T cells. So what are the names of the antigen presenting cells? The names of the antigen presenting cells are the macrophages, dendritic cells, and B cells. Now you have got an idea about the antigen presenting cell, isn't it? So what you should understand about cell-mediated immunity is T cell will not be induced directly by the antigen. The antigen means it is a pathogen, or it may be a tumor cell, or it may be a transplanted cell. A foreign body, call it as an antigen, isn't it? So that substance, that antigen or whatever it may be, it should be recognized and it should be processed. And then it should be presented to the T cell. Then only T cell will act. This you call it as antigen presenting cell. So antigen presentation. So someone has to go and present the antigen to the T cell for its action. Otherwise, T cell cannot be induced directly and won't act directly when the pathogen enters. So the cell which does this work, that is which recognizes and which process and which present it to the T cell, you call it as antigen presenting cell. And the names of the cells are macrophages, dendritic cells, and B cells. And where they are present? They're present in the skin, mucous membrane of the respiratory tract, GIT, as well as genitourinary tract. And next important thing, which you should know is major histocompatibility complex or MHC antigens. So what are they? The self-antigen, which is present in a cell, which help in identifying and rejecting the foreign antigens. So what is major histocompatibility complex? They are nothing but self-antigen. The other name for it is MHC antigens or HLA antigen. Because what HLA means? Human leukocyte antigen. So it was first identified in the membrane of the leukocyte. That's why it's called as human leukocyte antigen. Then later it was found it was present in all the cells except RBCs. So what is major histocompatibility complex or MHC antigens or HLA or synonyms with each other? So major histocompatibility complex or MHC antigens or self-antigens that help in identifying and rejecting the foreign antigen. So due to the presence of this self-antigen only, we are able to identify and reject the foreign antigens. And you know, blood group antigen is present in the membrane of RBC, isn't it? Like that, HLA or MHC antigen is present in the membrane of WBCs. So if you take the types of MSC, there are two types of MSC. One is type 1 MSC and type 2 MSC. So MSC type 1 antigen is present in membrane of all the body cells except RBC. And if you take the subunits, it is made up of 3 alpha and 2 beta subunits. When you take MHC2 antigen, it is present on the surface of antigen presenting cells. What are the antigen presenting cells? Just now you saw macrophages, dendritic cells, and B cells. Along with that, it is present in MHC2 antigen is present in thymus cells and activated T cells. And it is made up of 2 alpha and 2 beta cells. So here, what you understand is MHC2 antigen plays a very important role in cellular immunity because it is present in antigen presenting cell. So remember this MHC2 antigen, which is present in antigen presenting cell. Okay. So what are the two different types of MHC? MHC1 antigen and MHC2 antigen. So MHC2 antigen is present on all the body cells except RBCs, and it is made up of 3 alpha and 2 beta subunits. And MHC2, when you take, it is present on the surface of antigen presenting cell, thymus cells, and activated T cells. So now you are very well aware of the new two terms. What is antigen presenting cell and MHC or major histocompatibility complex or HLA antigens or self-antigens. Now coming to the types of T cells, there are 4 different types of T cell. One is helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, suppressor T cell, and memory T cell. By the name itself, helper T cells means it helps the other cells for immunity. It is also called as inducer cells. And cytotoxic T cell, from the name itself, it causes toxicity to the cell, which is damaged, as well as the microorganism which is entering in toxicity, will be produced in that. So cytotoxic T cell plays a major role in killing the microorganism. Suppressor T cells, after the action of the lymphocytes, the action of the lymphocytes should be suppressed. Otherwise, it will kill our own good tissues also. Apart from killing the damaged tissue, our own healthy tissues will also be destroyed. So you have to suppress that after that. After the action of the T lymphocytes, and what that should be done, or the whatever the cell comes into action, after its action, it has to be suppressed. Otherwise, after killing the pathogen also, it will, if you leave just like that, it will kill our own cells also, own healthy cells also. So you should get to suppress. So the cells which plays a very important role in suppression of that immunity, you call it a suppressor T cell or regulatory T cell. Memory T cell, a small amount of cell which stays in the tissues for long periods, and it will remember the initial immunological insult which will happen in the past. And when the next pathogen enters, it will react very quickly, even without processed by the antigen presenting cell. This type of cell, we call it as memory T cells. One by one, we'll see again. So what are the two? You should know about the 4 types of T cell. One is helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, suppressor T cell, and memory T cell. So helper T cell is otherwise called as T4 cell because they contain CD4 protein on the cell surface. And they're also called as inducer cell. So see here, there is a presence of protein called CD4 on the cell surface. That's why you call it as CD4 cells or T4 cells. And these cells are also called as inducer cell because they help in assessing both cellular as well as humoral immunity. So they will be inducing both cellular and humoral immunity. That's why you call it as inducer cells. So what are the other names for this helper T cell? T4 cells, CD4 cells, inducer cell. Why it is called inducer cell? It induces both cellular and humoral immunity. Why it is called CD4 cell? Because it contains a special protein called CD4 on the cell surface. And when you take the helper T cell, there are 2 sets of helper T cell. One is helper T cell 1 and helper T cell 2. Helper T cell 1 assists in cellular immunity, and helper T cell 2 helps in humoral immunity. So the helper T cell, which plays a very important role in cellular immunity, is helper T cell 1. And helper T cell 2 plays a very important role in humoral immunity. Okay. And next will be a cytotoxic T cell. The other name for it is Th cells, or we call it a CD8 cell because they contain a special protein called CD8 on the cell membrane. That's why it is called a CD8 cell. And why it is called cytotoxic T cell? Because it produces cytotoxicity in the microorganism and kill the microorganism. That's why it's called a cytotoxic T cell. Next is suppressor T cell. As I told you already, suppressor T cell is otherwise called as regulatory T cell because it slows down the activity of B cells and T cells once the antigen has been destroyed. If you don't suppress the activity of this B cells or T cell or cytotoxic T cell, what will happen? The cytotoxic T cell or the cell which is active will kill our own healthy tissues, isn't it? So you have to prevent that. So in order to prevent that, the suppressor T cell helps. So what it will do, it suppresses the activity of the cytotoxic T cells once the microorganism has been killed. Okay. So this is the action of suppressor T cell. And the last T cell will be memory T cell. A small number of T cells remain in the tissue as memory cells, which will remember the initial immunological insult which occurred in the past. So what does this cell do? The cell will produce a quicker response if the infection with the same pathogen occurs for the next time. For example, is measles. Isn't it? When you get measles, you won't get lifelong measles again because of this memory T cells. So memory T cells lives for a very long life. Entire life of the individual it stays. So now tell me, what are the cells T cell type of T cells which you saw? Helper T cells or inducer T cells, because it induces both humoral as well as cellular immunity. And second T cell will be your cytotoxic T cell. And third T cell will be your suppressor T cell or regulatory T cell. And fourth T cell will be your memory T cells. Now let's go to the steps of cell-mediated immunity. So when you go to the steps of cell-mediated immunity, I told you already, for the T cell to act, the antigen should be recognized, processed, and presented by the antigen presenting cell. That will be the first step. And second step is, once it is presented, once the antigen is presented by the cell, it has to be activated. It should be activating the T cell and proliferating the T cell. So activation and proliferation of T cells. That is, first the helper T cells comes into play. So first the activation and proliferation of helper T cells should occur. Then the helper T cell will go and stimulate the cytotoxic T cell. So activation and proliferation of cytotoxic T cell occurs. So here activation and proliferation of T cell means both helper T cell as well as cytotoxic T cell. Okay, you can write in the bracket also the helper T cell and cytotoxic T cell. So the first step is antigen presenting cell. You know what are the antigen presenting cell, isn't it? Macrophages and your dendritic cell, B cells. It plays a very important role in antigen presentation to the lymphocyte, isn't it? So antigen recognition, processing and presentation by antigen presenting cell is the first step. And second step will be activation and proliferation of T cells. T cell means both helper T cell as well as cytotoxic T cell. So once the cytotoxic T cell is activated, what will happen? It will eliminate the microorganism or eliminate the invader, whatever it may be. Whether it is a tumor cell also, it will eliminate the tumor cell. So what are the three steps of cell-mediated immunity? The first step will be antigen recognition, processing, and presentation by antigen presenting cell. And second step will be activation and proliferation of T cell. And third step will be elimination of invader. So these are the three steps of cell-mediated immunity. So we will discuss about each step elaborately one by one. How the antigen is recognized, processed and presented, and how activation and proliferation of T cell occurs, how the elimination of the invader takes place. So how the antigen is getting recognized? The antigen presenting cell, you all know, isn't it? So just now I told you. So the antigen presenting cell recognizes a foreign antigen due to the presence of MSC2 in them, isn't it? So major histocompatibility complex or HLA is present, which is a self-antigen, which will recognize the foreign antigen. That's how recognition of antigen by antigen presenting cell takes place. So recognition of antigen by antigen presenting cell, how it takes place? Due to the presence of MHC or HLA in them. So the antigen presenting cell will recognize the foreign antigens due to the presence of MHC2 or HLA in them. And second step is antigen processing and presentation by antigen presenting. Very, very important. Just look at the thing which I'm telling. You just follow the diagram whenever I'm telling the steps. So the first step is whatever antigen it may be. Suppose it is a macrophage. What does it do? It will first engulf the antigen. See here, the engulfment of the antigen takes place. You know, antigen is a protein. So when it is getting digested, how it will be divided or how it will be split up into peptides. Digestion of antigens into peptide will be the next step. See here. So the antigen will be split down into peptides. So the vesicle containing peptides will be produced. Simultaneously, there will be synthesis of MSC2 molecules in the inside the macrophages. And the third step will be this vesicle containing peptides of antigen and this vesicle containing MHC will be fused with each other. So you call it as peptide MHC molecules will be fused with each other. And after fusion, binding of them takes place. See here, this MHC will go and bind with the antigen or peptide. So binding of the peptides with the MHC2 molecule takes place. So MSC will go and bind with the peptide. So binding will take place. And next will be, once the binding takes place, this MHC2 as well as the antigen which is formed will be sent to the outside of the cell. This you call it as incorporation of the antigen MSC complex into the plasma membrane. So incorporation of the antigen MSC complex into the plasma membrane by exocytosis takes place. This is the last step. So what is the first step? First step is antigen will be injected inside, that is by phagocytosis. Antigen will be taken inside. And second step will be the digestion of the antigen into peptide takes place. And simultaneously there will be synthesis of MSC2 molecules. And the third step will be fusion of this antigen peptides and MSC2 takes place. Fourth step will be binding of this two takes place. And fifth step will be incorporation of the antigen MSC2 complex to the outside of the cell or the cell membrane by exocytosis takes place. So this is how antigen processing and presentation by the antigen presenting cell takes place. So this I have explained in the notes. So antigens are ingested by antigen presenting cells by the process of endocytosis. And following endocytosis, you all know it will be divided into peptides. And simultaneously, MSC2 molecules are formed in the cell. So MSC vesicles will be formed. And next step will be fusion of the vesicles of the MSC2 and the peptides of antigen. And next fourth step will be binding of them takes place. And the fifth step will be, it will be sent outside by exocytosis. So MSC2 antigen complex gets incorporated into the cell membrane and it will be exposed out. So what will happen? The antigen presenting cell, which MSC2 antigen complex, after incorporation with these two substances, what it will happen? So when you take now, the antigen presenting cell will be having MSC2 antigen complex outside. So that means other cells will recognize. For that purpose, it is having outside. So now it migrates into the lymphatic tissue or circulates in the blood. So when it comes in contact with the T cell, it will stimulate the T cell. So when it comes in contact with the T cell, it will stimulate the T cell. That too, helper T cell will be stimulated first. Then after the helper T cell, the helper T cell will go and stimulate the cytotoxic T cell. So these occurs. Okay. So now you know how the antigen get recognized, how the antigen get processed, and how the antigen is presented, isn't it? So 3 steps is over. Now the antigen presenting cell, whatever is formed, what does it do? So along with the MSC2 complex, antigen complex will be circulating in the blood. When it comes in contact with the T helper cell, it will be attached to the T cell receptor, which is present in the T helper cell. Okay, so I will put a picture for this, then I will explain this slide. See here, this is the antigen presenting cell. So this is having MSC2 along with the antigen or peptide, which is projected out. So this is a T helper cell, which is circulating in the blood. So this will also be circulated, this will also be circulated. So when both comes in contact with each other, what will happen? This T cell receptor, this T cell receptor, this MSC2 complex will go and bind and it will stimulate it, because once it gets binded, interleukin 1 will be formed by this antigen presenting cell, which will help in stimulation and proliferation of helper T cell. So after this interleukin 1 secretion, once the helper T cell is stimulated, this will secrete, the activated helper T cell will secrete interleukin 2, which will stimulate the cytotoxic T cell. So it will stimulate, that is, it will activate and proliferate the cytotoxic T cell, as well as it will stimulate its own cells, that is, it will stimulate and proliferate the helper T cells also. So interleukin 1, it activates and proliferates helper T cell, but interleukin 2 will activate and proliferate cytotoxic T cell as well as the helper T cell. Okay, so the important cytokines which is released here, interleukin 1 and interleukin 2, you should keep in mind. So once a cytotoxic T cell is activated, what does it do? It causes cytotoxicity or lysis of the microorganism or lysis of the infected cells and kills the pathogen or the infected cell. This is what happening. Now we'll go to the previous slide, what has happened. So now coming to the previous slide, see here, when MSC2 antigen complex comes in contact with the T helper cell, it binds with the T cell receptor. Once it binds with the T cell receptor, interleukin 1 will be secreted by the antigen presenting cell, which will activate and proliferate the T helper cell. So the activated T helper cell will release interleukin 2, which in turn activates and proliferates the cytotoxic T cells. So what are the two cytokines which is produced here? Interleukin 1 and interleukin 2. How it is produced? The antigen presenting cell will be having the antigen along with the MSC2 complex outside of the cell like a spike. When it comes in contact with the T cell, it binds to the T cell receptor and then the interleukins will be secreted from them. So the interleukin, when you take interleukin 1 will be secreted. So what does it do? Activation and proliferation of T cells, that is T helper cells will first act. Then when T helper cell is activated, it will release interleukins 2, which will activate and proliferate the cytotoxic T cell. So what does the cytotoxic T cell do? It will kill the microorganism or the infected cell. How it is killing? It is killing the microorganism by 3 ways. One is by cytolysis. Another is by secretion of lymphotoxin or tumor necrosis factor beta. And the last is by the action of interferons. Okay, so how the cytotoxic T cells kills the microbes or the infected cell? By 3 mechanisms. One is cytolysis. Second one is secretion of lymphotoxin. The name of the lymphotoxin is tumor necrosis factor beta, and by secreting interferons. So by the action of interferons, it is killed. So one by one, we'll see how the cytolysis takes place. So when you take the killer cells, the cytotoxic T cells, so for this also, you should look at the picture first, then we can come to the slide. See here, the cytotoxic T cell, it will produce an important substance called perforins. So perforins are nothing but pore-forming cytolytic proteins. So pore-forming means it will produce pore in the infected cell. Okay. So what are perforins? Perforins are the substances, or protein-like substances. They are nothing but pore-forming proteolytic proteins. That is, what it do is it will form a pore on the infected cell. So this is a pore-forming protein which is produced by the cytotoxic T cell. This perforin, once it is secreted, it will be incorporated into this here, the perforin which is secreted, which is synthesized by this, will cross here and it will be causing a hole in the infected cell. So through this hole, not only the enzymes will go, water, ions will enter. So when enzymes, water, ions, everything enters the infected cell or the microorganism, what will happen? Swelling of the cell will be occurring and bursting out of the cell and cell killing will occur. This you call it as cytolysis. This you call it as cytolysis. So now coming to the previous slide, see here, killer cell, cytotoxic T cell will synthesize or secrete perforins. So it is nothing but pore-forming cytolytic protein. And what it will do, it will incorporate them into the infected cell. So through the perforins, water, enzymes enter the infected cell. So infected cell will swell up and undergo osmotic lysis. So this is what occurring. First, cytotoxic T cells will bind with the infected cell first, and it will produce perforin, a pore-forming. Pore means hole-forming protein. Then through the hole, everything enters the infected cell and the cell will swell and finally it will be bursted out or it will be killed. And lysis of the cell occurs. And next is secretion of the lymphotoxin. So tumor necrosis factor is secreted by the activated T cell, which will kill the microbes. And next, last will be the action of the gamma interferon secreted by the cytotoxic T cell, which is a chemical which is secreted by the cytotoxic T cell, which will directly kill the microorganism, will kill the viruses. So it is a very important antiviral which is secreted by this cytotoxic T cell, interferons. Okay, so interferons was used in COVID-19 infection also. When it occurred earlier, so it was first used, interferons were used to kill the antivirus. So it was an important antiviral. So as this drug was used, synthetic interferon was used. So now one by one will come. So first step is recognition. So what is, when you take cell-mediated immunity, the first step is antigen recognition, processing and presentation by antigen presenting cells. Second will be the activation proliferation of T cell, and third one will be the elimination of the invader. So how the antigen presenting cell recognize a foreign antigen? Due to the presence of MSC2 or HLA in them. And how this the antigen is getting processed? You know that. So antigen is taken inside by endocytosis, then it will be digested to peptides. So vesicle contains peptides will be formed and vesicle contains MSC2 complex will be formed, and both the vesicles will fuse together and binding of this antigen with the MSC complex takes place, and incorporation of this antigen MSC complex to the outside of the cell takes place, and this antigen presenting cell will move in the circulation. When it comes in contact with the T cell, what happens? It will secrete interleukin-1, which will activate and proliferate the helper T cell, and interleukin-2 will be secreted from the helper T cells once it is activated, and this interleukin-2 will activate the cytotoxic T cell, which kills the microorganism or the infected cells by cytolysis, by secretion of lymphotoxin, and by action of interferons. So see, these are the three methods. How by cytolysis it is killing? It will be secreting us important. So the cytotoxic T cell will be secreting an important substance or protein called perforins, which is nothing but pore-forming or hole-forming cytolytic protein. And this will be incorporated into the membranes of the infected cell. And through this perforins, water, enzymes, and all the substances, ions will move inside, and the infected cell will swell up and it will undergo osmotic lysis. This is how it kills. And not only by cytolysis it kills, It kills, see here, this is the steps of cytolysis. So it binds with the infected cell. Cytotoxic T cell will bind with the infected T cell. Then it will be secreting perforin, which is a hole forming protein. And hole will be formed in the infected cell. And the ions, water will move inside and cell will swell and it will get burst. And not only that, it will secrete lymphotoxin, tumor necrosis factor, which is a very important. So beta tumor necrosis factor will be secreted, which is a very important lymphotoxin, which is secreted by activated T cell, which will kill the microorganism. And last but not the least, gamma interferons, which is secreted by cytotoxic T cell, directly kills the viruses. And coming to the applied aspects, organ transplantation rejection. So organ, whether you do kidney organ transplantation or liver or any organ or even skin graft also, it gets rejected because due to the cellular immunity, because once it is identified as a foreign antigen, the antigen presenting cell will present that antigen to the T cell, and T-cell cell-mediated immunity will be occurring and organ transplantation rejection will take place. In order to prevent this transplantation rejection, we will be giving steroids, which suppresses the action of lymphocytes. So the lymphocyte action will be suppressed. So mainly the cell-mediated immunity will be suppressed. So when the cell-mediated immunity is suppressed, what will happen? No graft rejection takes place. No transplant rejection takes place. And next important applied aspect is AIDS. What happens in AIDS? You all know that in HIV, virus will attack CD4 cells, isn't it? So helper T cells. So what is the other name for helper T cell? CD4 cell or inducer cell, because it induces both humoral as well as cell-mediated immunity. So when this CD4 cell or helper T cell is attacked, what will happen? Both cell-mediated as well as humoral immunity will be gone. That is, both are affected. So no cell-mediated immunity, no humoral immunity works for these patients. So when there are no cell-mediated or no humoral immunity occurs, what will happen? The patients will land up with AIDS, will land up in severe immunodeficiency state. So when there is severe immunodeficiency, all the microorganisms can attack them. Not only microorganism, I told you, if cell-mediated immunity is good, then we want the chance of multiplication of the cancer cells or tumor cells is decreased, isn't it? So if it is not there, then all type of malignancies or cancer will occur in the patients. So in AIDS, what happens is CD4 cell or helper T cell, which is the inducer cell for both the immunity, will be affected. Hence, AIDS patient will land up in severe immunodeficiency state, which leads to all type of infections and malignancies. Okay. So coming to the end, today what you saw, cell-mediated immunity. So cell-mediated immunity is mediated by the T cell, and it is effective against viruses, bacteria, fungi, as well as malignant cell, as well as transplant cells. And when you take what is antigen presenting cell, names of the antigen presenting cell, macrophages, dendritic cells, and B cells, because they recognize the process and present that antigen to the T cell. Then only T cell can act. And what are MHC antigens or MHC complex or HLA antigens? All are synonymous with each other. They are nothing but self-antigen, which recognize the foreign antigen. Yeah, otherwise, cell-mediated immunity will not be mediated. And what are the different type of T cell? Helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, suppressor T cell, and memory T cell. And the action of each T cell also, you know. Helper T cell is otherwise called inducer cell. Cytotoxic T cell is otherwise called as toxic cell because it kills the microorganism or the tumors or whatever it may be by cytolysis. Okay. And third, your suppressor T cell. What does it do? After the action of this B cells and T cell, it suppresses the activity of B cell, T cell, as well as cytotoxic T cell. Otherwise, our own healthy tissue will be damaged. Memory cells, these are cells which keeps in memory the immunological insert or the previous pathogen what has entered our body, and next time it makes a quicker response. So all these T cells plays a very important role. The 4 T cells names you should know. So helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell, the memory T cell, and suppressor T cell. And coming to the steps of cell-mediated immunity, the first step will be antigen recognition, processing and presentation by the antigen-presenting cells to the T cell. And second step will be activation and proliferation of this T cell. That is both. First, which cell will be activated? Helper T cell. And next, which cell will be activated? Cytotoxic T cell. So for this, which substances should be secreted or which cytokines will be secreted? So for interleukin-1 will be secreted by antigen-presenting cell, which will stimulate the helper T cell. Interleukins-2 will be secreted by the helper T cell, which will stimulate the cytotoxic T cell as well as the helper T cell. Okay, so this is still two interleukins, very important. How the cytotoxic T cells kills the infected cell or microorganism? By three processes. One is cytolysis, by secreting perforins or hole-forming protein. And second one is by the secretion of beta tumor necrosis factor, and by secretion of gamma interferon. Okay, and the applied aspect is organ transplantation rejection and HIV or AIDS. So with this, we come to the end of this section, and thank you very much.